Welcome back to Noob to Final Boss, the series where I take on every boss in the game, starting from the easiest and working my way up to the hardest. The goal is to kill every boss 100 times and unlock the final boss achievement by the end of the series. But today's video is going to be a bit different than usual, and I'm really excited about this one. I figured we'd backtrack a little to revisit an earlier boss, the Archglacier, one of my personal favorites so far. I've already defeated him 100 times in normal mode, and I even managed to push to 100% in Rage in hard mode, but I haven't touched this boss since then. The goal today is to unlock the first Iceborne title by working my way up to 500% in Rage. For those of you unfamiliar with the enrage system, every successful kill makes the boss harder. It gets more health, deals more damage, and the mechanics get more intense the higher the enrage goes. At this point, I think I'm ready. I've gained a bunch of levels, upgraded my gear, and improved my PvM skills after defeating 19 bosses in the game so far. But can we actually make it to 500% in Rage? Let's find out. I'll be ranging the boss since that's my strongest combat star right now. Still, I wanna upgrade some stuff before I really start pushing in Rage. A bunch of you suggested I complete the Extinction quest, and it's finally done. It rewarded me with this gem, which I combined with the Ring of Vigor, turning it into a passive effect. Alright, let's see if it works. Yep, we still got 10%. Not having to swap rings to save 10% of adrenaline every time I use an ultimate? So cool. At the same time, I didn't want to neglect my muscle memory, so I also finished the Vampire Quest 9, which gave me the Sun Spear. I turned it into a planted feet switch by augmenting it and adding the perk. It increases the duration of death swiftness by 7 seconds, letting me squeeze in more thresholds and therefore more damage into my rotation. I'll be using this switch until I can eventually afford the greater death swiftness codex. But yeah, that thing is like 170 me right now. Definitely not in the budget yet. Also, huge shout out to you guys. You've been giving amazing tips. I love reading through them and learning from you. One suggestion I picked up was to swap my arrows. Since I don't have great at dazing shot and couldn't get death spore arrows from the GE, I went with big arrows. They're a bit more expensive, but really useful here because Archglacier is poisonable. That's also why I'm using Cinder Beans, combined with weapon poison and Q-arm instant sticks that give me even more poison damage. Lastly, my Armadillo guardbook has served me well throughout the series, but it was time to upgrade to the Scripture of Ven. Actually, I got it as a drop from Archglacier, and luckily I've got plenty of pages to keep it charged as well. It's going to be really strong here because the Glacier doesn't move, so the Scripture's effect always hits. Alright, I feel strong enough. It's time. I'm longing for a cooler place. We're picking things up right where we left off in episode 5, and I'm fired up. Let's get this. I have no idea what to expect, how hard the mechanics will get, or even how long a single kill might take. But I feel like we are over-geared for the early rage levels, which is perfect because we'll need every bit of that power as we climb closer to 500%, that's for sure. Alright, hopefully I haven't forgotten how to handle these mechanics. Let's make sure to actually activate the right aura this time, and not maniacal like last time. This fight is so good for practicing muscle memory, prayer flicking, defensives, movement abilities, you name it, the Archglacier's got it all. And now he's also got poison stacks on him. Let the poison do its thing. Holy crap, that's actually a ton of poison damage. First kill done, new personal best, a full minute faster than before. I wasn't expecting anything less with this gear, to be honest. Alright, what do you have for me? I freaking love stone spirits. You know what, just keep it simple and we'll gamble the loot until we die or get something big. This is gonna be fun. What I wanna do though is upgrade my Pontifex Shadow Ring. I'm gonna overcharge it with Anima, and basically that makes the effects of this ring a passive, so I don't have to wear it, just like with the Ring of Vigor. Let's look at what it does. It makes my deflect curses 10% stronger against Glacier, and that stacks with the Amulet of Souls, which also adds another 10% damage reduction to my curses. So we're looking at 20% damage reduction total. That's huge. Plus a 2% drop rate buff to uniques from all Elder Godforce bosses. It's a very good upgrade, and hopefully we can back some uniques. Look at that, I'm using his own attack against him. How do you like it now? I've got my own Pillars of Ice. Stop it, you're embarrassing me. Prayer flicking is arguably the most important thing in this fight. If you are not good at it, you're gonna have a bad time at this boss. Oh, we are gonna have to work on that, for sure. These minions are such a pain. I'm really lacking good area of effect abilities. Alright, so I find out about this device called the Mechanized Chinchompa. It deals damage to all enemies in a 3x3 area around your target, so yeah, minion problem solved, at least for now. We're making light work of the glaciites, look at that, but I've got a feeling they are still gonna be a problem later on at higher enrages. So I've started using a different method for the cannon. I'm trying not to rely on devotion because at high enrages devotion is better used for other mechanics and dicier situations. Instead, I've got familiar with the reflect defensive ability. It reduces damage taken by 50% and reflects the reduced damage back at the attacker. I reflect the first 2 hits, 1, 2 and then resonance the last hit. Oh, gets me back to full HP and does a ton of reflect damage to Glacier. Holy shit, this is so satisfying. Timing it is tricky at first though, takes a few tries. Wait, what? 96 ranged! Look at that, that was unexpected. Awesome. 111% in rage. This is uncharted territory from here on out. I haven't even used a familiar until now. Accuracy is not a problem at this boss, so I'm thinking of using a combat familiar for the first time. These are my options. So I wanna try the Blood Reaver. It deals 33% of all heal damage to the enemy, which should work really well with Vampirism Aura, occasional Soul Splits and Resonance. We'll give it a shot and see how much free damage we can squeeze out of it. I remember struggling with this fight in my old gear. Now we're just melting this big ice cube. There we go, we're halfway there. This is where he starts spawning a new tougher minion, double the HP of a regular one. Yikes, I'm screwed. Couldn't keep them together. I'm dead. See, I told you we'd have trouble with the minions sooner or later. Though I was really hoping for later. That freaking bolstered one ended my kill streak as well. Damn it. So the plan now is to drag the new guy over to his buddies, so my chins can wipe them all out together. I've started using Binding Shot to keep them in place. This is the most annoying mechanic. Nice, we got him. You've probably also noticed that I'm sneaking in a bit of soul split flicking. Not going full sweaty just yet, but I'm trying to build a habit. It'll be super useful, or even necessary, at some of the endgame bosses, so I wanna get comfortable with it early. Okay, so this is our very first attempt at passing 500% on a streak as well, so fingers crossed I don't screw it up. Alright, I messed it up. Missed the prayer flick and yep, that was it. So the kill streak reset. I'm not happy about it. I really wanted to show you guys a big loot at the end of the video, especially with the drop table nerf coming next week. Still, we got 8 mil out of it. Obviously I'm not here for the money, I just really hope we make it through the next attempt without any more accidents like that. That's a massive life pool. Good start, that's actually a good first mechanic to get. Nice. Just gotta be careful what comes next. Gun? That's fine, we can survive gun. Ah, screw it, I'm risking it. Come on. Yes, that feels so good. Pillars of Ice into a Flurry. Alright, just gotta get my prayer flicks in. And as long as I don't miss any of these, we're gonna be so fine. Wasn't the smoothest minion phase, but it'll do. I've seen worse. Can I get a res on this range hit? Oh, sick dude. Oh, wait. No, we are good. And he's basically dead now. No, spoke too soon. I get freaking minions. He's on 10k health. It's my chance to finish this and I'm like blocked. Alright, let's clear him fast. What? Back-to-back minions? Oh my god, seriously? This kill should have ended a minute ago. Blazingly fast, sub 8 minute, 500% in rage, Archglacier kill. Let's go! We made it. That was cool. Actually a bit tougher than I expected. What does 4000% look like then? Anyway, first bossing title in the bag. I'm gonna throw that on and show it off. Oh, that looks so badass. So that was Archglacier at 500% enrage. I think I was very much prepared for that. We'll definitely be coming back. Next time we are pushing for 1000%. Real quick, I wanted to talk about the results of the last poll. Over 75% of you said you'd love to see an Iron Man series, which I'm really happy about. What did surprise me though, is that only a few of you voted for making it hardcore. Personally, I'm leaning more toward hardcore Iron Man, just because I've always been that guy who loves playing games on the hardest difficulty. And as far as I know, the only penalty for dying is that you downgrade to a regular Iron Man anyway, so it's not the end of the world. Still, I'm gonna give it some thought. The plan is to start a new series later this year, and I really want to make it something special. I'm gonna put a lot of effort into it and try and make it a banger. So yeah, that's going to wrap this one up. The next video is going to be tackling my first ever Elite Dungeon, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you guys soon with more.